Gluten. A lot of people seem to be gluten intolerant. Some people claim to be allergic to gluten, and some people even have celiac disease. So what is gluten? Welcome to Shape Fixer. I'm Andrew. I'm a nutritionist and a biologist. Let's talk about gluten. Before we talk about gluten, let's talk about lectins. Lectins are a group of proteins made by plants to protect them against pests, particularly insects. So in a way, it's one of nature's pesticides. It's a group of proteins that include gluten. Lectins also include ricin, which you've probably heard of, which is highly toxic, illegal to have, strictly controlled, and is a terrorist favorite poison. Gluten is not as toxic as ricin, but it is toxic. All lectins are toxic. That's what they're made for, to poison the insects that try to eat the plants. If you have lectin poisoning from too much lectin, you will have stomach pain, nausea, vomiting, and diarrhea. But in addition to being toxic, most lectins, including gluten, are anti-nutrients. They work as anti-nutrients, and then that means they block your body's ability to digest and absorb your food properly. So when you eat food that has gluten in it, it will limit the ability to absorb the other nutrients and minerals in the food that you're actually trying to get. And they do this. Glutens are very sticky. There's a clue in the name, gluten. They agglutinate. They stick together in clumps. If you get gluten in your bloodstream, it will stick your red blood cells together and create clotting, which is of course very dangerous and can lead to stroke. Gluten in your gut sticks to the membranes inside your gut, the lining of your gut, and block the passage of nutrients from your gut into your bloodstream. So they interfere with the absorption of your food. Your body then tries to break that gluten up, to break those clumps up, to free up the gut by mobilizing your immune system. So your immune system needs to go into your gut and attack the glutens. And in the process of attacking and breaking down the glutens, it can damage your gut wall. So your immune system damages the cells in your gut wall, sort of in the crossfire as they're going there to try to take out the glutens. That damages your cell wall, the cell membrane, the gut lining, which then makes it very difficult for you to absorb your food, and that leads to celiac disease. That's what celiac disease is. It's your immune system damaging the inner walls of your gut so that you have digestive issues. But it's not actually attacking your gut. It's attacking the glutens. So if you have to cut the glutens out of your diet altogether, if you have celiac disease. The other thing that happens is that you get a lot of inflammation. And when you get nutritional inflammation, your body doesn't know the difference between nutritional inflammation and an infectious inflammation from a pathogen or a bacteria. So a lot of the body's response to the inflammation is as if you had an infection. And one of the things that happens is your blood iron goes down. Iron is taken out of your blood. It's converted to ferritin. So if you have a blood test, when you have an infection, you'll often see that your blood iron is down and that your ferritin number is very high. That is one sign of an infection. That happens as a response to nutritional inflammation too. So whenever you eat food that is inflammatory, you will tend to lower your iron and you might become anemic or have the symptoms of anemia. So a lot of lectins in the diet, gluten in particular, will affect your absorption, will increase your inflammation, can make you nauseous, can make you anemic, and can lead to celiac disease. Now, what are the foods that we should be avoiding if we want to limit our lectin intake? Well, firstly, grains, particularly wheat, or any wheat products. Wheat germ, very high in lectins, gluten in particular. The other things that are very high in lectins are beans and peanuts. which are legumes. So any legumes, in fact, any beans, peas, peanuts are high in lectins. And the nightshade group of vegetables. So that would be potatoes, tomatoes, peppers, and brinjals, or aubergines, or eggplants. They have a lot of names. Another thing that gluten will do, or that lectins generally will do, is they interfere with your hormones, particularly your satiety hormone, which is the hormone that, one of the hormones that tells you when to stop eating. That hormone, unfortunately, it's called leptin, so it sounds very similar to lectin. The lectins, which are the toxic proteins in the food, like gluten, will inhibit your leptin from telling you when to stop eating. So you tend to overeat, and then you tend, of course, to gain weight. So that's another result of eating too many lectins in your food, is that you will put on weight. There are ways to mitigate your lectin intake. You can soak the food in water for several hours, and a lot of the lectins will leach out into the water. You can cook the food with a high heat, and you will destroy a lot of the lectins. Not all of them, but you will break a lot of them down, because proteins break down under high heat. So if you were, for example, to boil your beans and boil your vegetables very, very strongly and really cook them, you will both leach them out into the water and destroy them with the heat, and that can be quite an effective way of lowering the lectin load. But of course there's another way, and this is the best way, and this is the way I do it. I don't eat them. You don't need to eat them. I am on a predominantly carnivore, pretty much 100% now carnivore diet, so I don't deliberately eat vegetables. I will occasionally, I guess, something will sneak in if I've gone to eat out at a restaurant or at somebody else's house. But I avoid vegetables. I avoid plants altogether. I definitely don't eat lectins, and I don't need to worry about it, because there are no nutrients in any of those plants that you really, really have to get from those plants. You can get them somewhere else. So if you just avoid them altogether, you won't develop celiac disease. You won't develop an inflammatory response to the gluten or to the lectins. You're not going to run the risk of lectin poisoning or affecting your body's ability to absorb your food. Lectins are bad for you. Gluten is bad for you. If you don't have an obvious gluten intolerance that you can tell immediately after you've eaten it, that doesn't mean it's not having any kind of effect. So really, it's just not worth it, and you need to cut down as much as you can on your lectin and your gluten intake. Thank you for watching this video. Please click a like, please share the video, and please subscribe to our channel.